In the turbulent world of football transfers, few sagas have captured the imagination of fans quite like the tantalising prospect of Kylian Mbappe wearing the famous white jersey of Real Madrid. The mere mention of his name in connection with the Spanish giants sparks a frenzy of speculation, fueling months of intense negotiations, rumours and anticipation. As one of the brightest talents in the game, Mbappe's potential move to Real Madrid promises to redefine the landscape of European football as a whole. In this saga, the clash of footballing titans, Paris Saint-Germain and Real Madrid, collided in a high-stakes battle for the services of a generational talent, captivating fans and pundits alike with its twists and turns. Join me as I delve into the grip and tale of the Mbappe to Real Madrid's transfer saga, a saga that has transcended the sport and begun a lot earlier than you may think. Mbappe has been a prodigy since his youth, attending Clairefontaine, one of the finest footballing academies in all of France, dedicated to honing the skills of the most promising young talent in France, allowing them to blossom into the best players that they can be. Many French legends have graduated from Clairefontaine. Nicolas Anelka, a Premier League Golden Boot winner, Blaise Matuidi, a World Cup winner and four-time Ligue 1 winner, and most notably, the greatest Premier League player ever, Thierry Henry. Now that you've heard the calibre of fellow footballers that have graduated from Clairefontaine, to say Mbappe was destined for greatness is an understatement. Contrary to popular belief, Real Madrid and Florentino Perez's pursuit of the Wonder Kid began way back in December 2012. The night before his 14th birthday, Mbappe received an invitation from Real Madrid. Mbappe was flown out to Madrid for a trial. He was taken on a tour around the training facilities. He was able to meet the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo.
What is that? What the fuck is that?
Who's his idol, and Zinedine Zidane, who greeted him at the airport. Shockingly, even after all this first-class treatment, Madrid failed to obtain his signature, as Mbappe's parents believed the change in his environment could affect his development and his learning. Mbappe at the time claimed he could not understand why his mother would bring him back to France. But Mbappe believes it was meant to be and shows no regret, as once he had touched the stars, I had come back to earth. Little did Mbappe, his parents, or the rest of the world know that the Real Madrid and Mbappe saga had just begun. So let's call this Chapter 1. Kylian Mbappe would instead join the Youth Academy of Monaco, signing a 3-year contract. But here's a fun fact. Mbappe had also been invited to come train with Chelsea 12 months prior to his visit to Real Madrid. The scout responsible for setting up Mbappe's trial later revealed that the Blues passed up on signing the youngster due to concerns about his work rate off the ball. Thinking about it, honestly, Chelsea have missed out on so much great talent, but that's a video for another day. At the Monaco Academy, Mbappe excelled and was leagues ahead of his age mates. It didn't take long for him to be promoted from the Monaco Academy to the reserve team, but he wouldn't remain there long, as his level of skill and maturity prompted his promotion to the first team after just 3 weeks with the reserve team. Now Mbappe,
I'm up to no good, for real.
Just age 16, training with the first team, patiently waiting for his chance to make his debut. Luckily for Mbappe, he wouldn't have to wait long, as he made his first team debut just 2 months later on the 2nd of December 2015 in a 1-1 home draw against Cannes? Listen guys, I'm not French. Mbappe therefore became Monaco's youngest ever first team player, aged 16 years and 347 days, breaking the previous record set by Thierry Henry in 1994. Fast forward to February 20th, 2016, and Mbappe would break another of Henry's records as he scored in a 3-1 win at Troyes, becoming Monaco's youngest ever goal scorer at the age of 17 years and 62 days. All of which I just told you was before Kylian had even signed professional terms. On the 6th of March 2016, Mbappe would sign his first professional contract, a 3-year deal, tying him to Monaco until June 2019. Mbappe had played 15 games in his rookie season across all competitions. In an interview at the time, AS Monaco's vice president stated that he knew early on that Mbappe was a phenomenon. Coming into the 16-17 season, Mbappe was given a more prominent role, boosting his matches played to 44 games. Despite a slow start in the 2016-17 season, by the Christmas break he had only had 6 goals across all competitions. But something happened over Christmas, as Mbappe would flip a switch and become a killer in front of goal, forming a potent striker partnership with Radamel Falcao. A month later, Mbappe would play in his first Champions League knockout match. The match was held at the Etihad, and despite being major underdogs, Mbappe and Monaco put up a good fight, losing 5-3 in the first leg. In the second leg, at the Stade Louis II, Mbappe would score first, inspiring a stunning 3-1 comeback on aggregate. The Champions League success didn't end there, as in the quarter-finals against Borussia Dortmund, Mbappe won a penalty and scored 2 goals, as Monaco won the first leg 3-2. In the second leg at home, he opened up the scoring, as Monaco would go on to win 3-1 and advance to the semi-finals of the Champions League. They were eventually eliminated from the Champions League, following a 4-1 loss on aggregate to Juventus in the semi-final, with Mbappe scoring his team's lone goal in the second leg. Mbappe had essentially put himself on the map. In this season, Mbappe would also get his first international call-up, and on March 25th, he would replace Dimitri Payet in the 78th minute in a game against Luxembourg to get his first cap for his nation. In the league, Monaco, thanks to a star-studded side which featured Bernardo Silva, Fabinho and Thomas Lemar, didn't lose a game after the Christmas break. During this incredible run, Mbappe shined throughout this period, obtaining a combined 13 goals and assists in 18 games. This staggering form from Mbappe and Monaco led them to a league title for the first time in 17 years. Mbappe ended the 16-17 season with 26 goals and 44 matches in all competitions. Following the end of the season, Mbappe had garnered the interest of the entire world, including Real Madrid again. But on the 31st of August 2017, it would be PSG that would announce the signing of Mbappe from Monaco on loan with a mandatory purchase option of 180 million euros. Mbappe claimed his rejection of moving to Los Blancos was with the intention of succeeding in Paris before making the permanent move. So now this was the second time that Mbappe had rejected Real Madrid. So I'm going to go ahead and call this chapter 2. The 180 million euro fee made Mbappe the most expensive teenager and the second most expensive player ever, and even broke the record for the largest transfer within a domestic league. In his first season with the Parisian club, Mbappe wasn't able to produce the same sort of numbers as he did the season prior, but essentially he didn't need to, as Mbappe and his teammates won his second successive league title, along with a Coupe de France as well as a Coupe de la Ligue, where he would face his former team and assist all 3 goals in the final. Thanks to these impressive achievements, Mbappe was called up to the national team for the 2018 World Cup in Russia. On the 21st of June 2018, Mbappe would score his first World Cup goal in Le Bleu's 1-0 group stage win over Peru. This made him the youngest French goalscorer in World Cup history, but it didn't end there. On the 30th of June 2018, he was named man of the match in a 4-3 win over Argentina in the round of 16, having won a penalty for France and scoring 2 goals. Mbappe was the second teenager to score 2 goals in a World Cup match since Pelé in 1958, and it got even better for Mbappe, as on the 15th of July, Mbappe will score a 25-yard strike against Croatia in the 2018 World Cup final, gaining a 4-2 win. Moreover, having scored 4 goals in the tournament, Mbappe received the FIFA World Cup Best Young Player Award. The World Cup ensured of Mbappe's greatness, as he put together some stellar performances on the world's biggest stage. See, this was very important for Mbappe's legacy, as many fans from other nations do not watch the French league often, as the French league is often quoted being a farmers league or one-team league. So it's thanks to these performances that many fans claim Mbappe's undeniable talent that separates him from amongst the world's best. The following few seasons, Mbappe would continue business as usual, smashing records and winning trophies. But in the summer of 2021, Real Madrid came knocking again, so let's call this chapter 3. With a year left on Mbappe's contract, Florentino Perez, like a shark smelling blood, locked in on Mbappe, offering 160 million euros, but PSG would refuse. Real Madrid continued to increase their offering amount, which ended up at 200 million euros on deadline day. This offer led to the president of Real Madrid Football Club, Florentino Perez, to claim Mbappe will play for Real Madrid. However, PSG didn't even consider listening to the offer. Whether it was Mbappe's personal choice or the club's, this was Real Madrid's 3rd time failing to secure Mbappe. Mbappe decided to remain at PSG, aware that his contract would end in the summer of 2022. But see, here's what I think Mbappe wanted. When signing a player under contract from a club, the team willing to buy the player would have to work out how much they're willing to pay the club for the player's services, along with how much they'd be willing to pay for the player's wages. 2 different pots of money. That money that a player is signed for, that you see in the news, online, and everywhere else, ends up with the club, not the player. The player would receive money from his wages, but not a transfer fee, if that makes sense. However, for a player that is not under contract, the club wanting to obtain the player's services would no longer have to pay crazy sums of money to another club in order to have the player play for them. But the club wanting to buy the player could instead use that money to pay the player a higher wage. As a result, the club would be spending the same or less amount of money this time, and there's no annoying middleman. For example, let me put it all into context. As of 2021, Mbappe was under contract with PSG. This means that Real Madrid would have to go to the club that owns Mbappe, PSG, and offer them a transfer fee, no matter how ridiculous the transfer fee may have been. Whilst under contract with PSG, PSG have the final say over Mbappe's move to Real Madrid. So even if Florentino Perez and Real Madrid offered, 500 million euros, Mbappe would have no say. Whereas on the other hand, in 2022, Mbappe's contract with PSG would be over. This would allow Real Madrid to approach Mbappe, not PSG. And so instead of Real Madrid spending all that money on a transfer fee, they could use that money and give Mbappe a crazy wage. With this method of thinking, Mbappe could get the most money, Real Madrid could save millions essentially, that they would have had to have spent on a transfer fee. However, a few weeks later, everything starts to go wrong, and doubts appear again about Mbappe's future in Paris. In France, there was a national movement never seen before for the continuity of a footballer. Qatar, Macron, Paris, and all those involved with PSG all went out of their way to convince Mbappe to renew his contract. Now you're probably thinking, 2 countries came together just to make a player sign, but remember what I said about the French league being called the Farmers League. Mbappe has been one of, if not the only attraction for people to tune in and watch it. And so if Mbappe had left, there would really be no hope for the future of the French league. Somehow, against all odds, they succeeded. But the figures are crazy. 83 million euros a year for 3 seasons, and a bonus 125 million euros if he renews his contract. Mbappe done what any of us would have, signed the contract.
Sign the contract, big boy, sign the contract.
Staying at PSG until 2024, with the option to extend his contract for another season. Madrid, who had already been caught in his signature, have once again come up against the Frenchman's refusal. This is the 3rd time since his arrival in Paris, and the 4th time in his footballing lifetime. Fast forward to today. We are in Mbappe's final season of his contract, and nobody is sure where Mbappe is going to sign. But most importantly, I believe Mbappe got what he wanted. He got the chance to stay at PSG and dominate football in France, and now has the chance to join the most prestigious football club this world has ever seen, which I'm sure would aid him in his long-time pursuit of the one trophy that's evaded him, the Champions League. But let me know what you guys think about Mbappe. Where do you think he'll end up next season? Let me know all your thoughts down in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and take care.